What's up, Shiny Now viewers? Get ready for a rapid-fire news blast that you absolutely do not want to miss. First up, the iconic King Charles has officially hosted Donald Trump for a landmark UK state visit. We've got the inside scoop on the royal greetings, the carriage rides, and the ceremonies that brought these two powerful figures together at Windsor Castle, all while protests erupted outside. But the story of presidential visits to Windsor Castle is a long and storied one. We're taking you back through the history books to see which U.S. presidents have graced those historic grounds, from Ronald Reagan's horseback ride to Joe Biden's recent meetings with King Charles III. It's a fascinating look at the evolving relationship between two global powers, right here at the iconic Windsor Castle. And speaking of royal encounters, we're zeroing in on the very latest. Donald and Melania Trump's recent meeting with the British royal family at Windsor Castle. What was the atmosphere like? What kind of royal treatment did they receive? We've got the details on their interactions with King Charles, Queen Camilla, Prince William, and Kate Middleton, and we'll even touch on some surprising protests that occurred during their visit. Get ready to dive into all these incredible stories and more. From state visits to historical precedents and the latest royal rendezvous, we've got your news covered. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to Shiny Now for all your breaking news, and ring that notification bell so you're the first to know. Let's get into it. Royal welcome and red carpet roll out for Donald Trump in the UK. This is a big one, folks. King Charles has officially welcomed former U.S. President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump for a highly anticipated state visit to the United Kingdom. This wasn't just any visit. It was a full-blown royal affair at the historic Windsor Castle, complete with carriage rides, troop inspections, and solemn moments of remembrance. King Charles, along with Queen Camilla, Prince William, and Princess Catherine, personally escorted the Trumps, marking a significant diplomatic moment. The visit echoed past encounters, as King Charles's mother, Queen Elizabeth II, had previously hosted Trump on his first state visit back in 2019. The day was set to culminate in a lavish state banquet, a cornerstone of diplomatic visits, where both King Charles and President Trump were expected to deliver speeches, further solidifying the special relationship between the U.S. and the U.K. However, the grandeur of the occasion was met with significant dissent. Protests erupted across London and Windsor, with citizens voicing their strong opposition to President Trump's visit and policies. These demonstrations highlighted the divided opinions surrounding the former president's presence on British soil, adding a layer of tension to the diplomatic proceedings. Despite the protests, the royal family proceeded with their carefully orchestrated schedule, underscoring the formal nature of a state visit, while the public discourse surrounding it remained vibrant and vocal. Audience impact. Public reaction was sharply divided, with widespread protests clashing with the formal reception. Analysts are dissecting the diplomatic implications and the symbolic gestures made during the visit, while social media buzzed with discussions about the royal family's role in hosting political figures. But the story of presidential visits to Windsor Castle is more than just a single event. It's a historical tapestry. Stay with us as we uncover the fascinating legacy of U.S. presidents who have been welcomed within those ancient walls, and what it signifies for the enduring bond between nations. A royal rendezvous, presidents through the ages at Windsor Castle. Windsor Castle, a fortress steeped in over 900 years of history, has long served as a stage for pivotal meetings between British monarchs and American presidents. While Buckingham Palace often hosts formal state banquets, presidential visits to Windsor are rare, often signaling a more personal and intimate gesture of friendship. These visits, marked by pomp and circumstance, offer a unique glimpse into the evolving transatlantic relationship. From Ronald Reagan's horseback ride with Queen Elizabeth II in 1982, which was almost derailed by a diplomatic hiccup, to George W. Bush's 2008 visit, where he gifted the Queen an electric car. Each encounter adds a distinct chapter to this diplomatic saga. Barack Obama's visit in 2016 for Queen Elizabeth II's 90th birthday was notably more casual, with the Queen greeting the Obamas in light rain. Fast forward to Donald Trump's tea at Windsor in 2018, amidst controversy, where he praised the Queen's impeccable representation of her country. Joe Biden's visits in 2021 and 2023, first with Queen Elizabeth II and then with King Charles III, continued this tradition, featuring Guard of Honor ceremonies and discussions on critical global issues. These meetings underscore Windsor Castle's enduring role as a symbol of the special relationship, a place where history is made and diplomatic ties are strengthened. Audience impact. History buffs and royal watchers are fascinated by the distinct styles of each presidential visit. Political commentators are analyzing the historical context and the evolving nature of US-UK relations as seen through these royal encounters. And speaking of recent royal encounters, the latest visit by Donald and Melania Trump has everyone talking. We'll break down their recent meeting with King Charles and the royal family, so don't go anywhere. Royal treatment, Donald and Melania Trump's latest Windsor visit. Donald Trump and his wife, Melania, have once again been the center of attention, receiving a distinctively royal welcome at Windsor Castle. This latest visit saw the President and First Lady greeted by Prince William and Kate Middleton, the Prince and Princess of Wales, marking a significant moment. The couple then proceeded to meet with King Charles III and Queen Camilla, a crucial face-to-face encounter, especially as Queen Camilla had recently been recovering from acute sinusitis. This meeting was particularly noteworthy, as it marked the first time King Charles and Donald Trump met since Charles ascended to the throne. The Trumps were treated to the full royal experience, including a carriage procession with the royal family and a luncheon in the state dining room. They also took a private moment to pay their respects at the tomb of Queen Elizabeth II, followed by a special beating retreat military ceremony. The day was set to be capped off with a state banquet hosted by King Charles, featuring a speech from the monarch. Despite the red carpet treatment from the royal family, the visit wasn't without its challenges, as images of Donald Trump alongside Jeffrey Epstein were projected onto Windsor Castle, leading to several arrests and highlighting ongoing public scrutiny. Audience impact. Royal enthusiasts are dissecting every detail of the Trumps' interactions with the royal family. Political analysts are weighing in on the diplomatic undertones and the public's mixed reactions to the visit. But what about the broader picture? How does this visit fit into the long history of U.S. presidents being hosted at Windsor? We've got that fascinating historical context coming up next, so stick around. A royal welcome, Trump's state visit to the UK. Former U.S. President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump have officially commenced their state visit to the United Kingdom, kicking things off with a significant engagement at Windsor Castle. Upon arrival via helicopter, they were warmly greeted by Prince William and Kate Middleton, the Prince and Princess of Wales, in the castle's walled garden. This marked the beginning of a day filled with traditional ceremonies and diplomatic exchanges, underscoring the deep ties between the United States and the UK. The visit, a significant diplomatic event, included a ceremonial reception, a carriage procession through the historic grounds, and a tour of Windsor Castle itself, where they viewed artifacts symbolizing the enduring relationship between the two nations. The itinerary featured a solemn moment as the Trumps laid a wreath on the tomb of the late Queen Elizabeth II at St. George's Chapel, followed by a private service. The day's events also included a spectacular beating retreat musical performance by military bands, culminating in a dazzling flyover by the Royal Air Force's Red Arrows. Later in the evening, a state banquet was held, bringing together the royal family and prominent figures, including top CEOs. During the banquet, King Charles spoke of the special relationship and the shared values between the U.S. and UK. President Trump, in his remarks, expressed gratitude and highlighted the strength of the bond between the two countries. This visit, the first full day of Trump's state visit, aimed to reaffirm diplomatic ties and celebrate historical connections, even as protests occurred elsewhere in London. Audience impact. Supporters of Donald Trump are celebrating the historic nature of the visit, while critics are focusing on the protests and the political implications. Business leaders attending the banquet are keen to observe the diplomatic exchanges and their potential impact on international relations. And that brings us to the end of our top stories for today. But before you go, we've got a quick recap of everything we covered, so stay tuned. And that's a wrap on today's top stories. We saw King Charles host Donald Trump for a significant state visit at Windsor Castle, complete with royal ceremonies and public protests. We then took a trip down memory lane, exploring the history of U.S. presidents visiting the iconic Windsor Castle. We also detailed Donald and Melania Trump's latest royal encounter with King Charles and the family, and covered the full scope of Trump's state visit to the UK, from royal greetings to military displays. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this update. Subscribe to Shiny Now for all your breaking news, and ring that notification bell so you never miss out. Let us know your thoughts on these stories in the comments below, and follow us on all our social media channels for more exclusive content. We'll see you in the next video.